Ring, ring, click. I'll get back to him. Jack, what's up, man?
Hey man, what's up? I don't know if you can hear me or anything.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, nice. Hey man, what's good? It's my first time in the call, man. So I'm just trying to soak up any info I could get. Make sure my copy is, where it needs to be and everything.
All right, cool, man. Sounds good. Did you read the promo?
Yeah, the what you sent in the message. I read it. I kind of went through it. I see that it's like really long copy. I can't really make heads or tails of it yet. Like if it's like what we supposed to be doing
Mm-hmm.
if we're in any industry, but I'm like really new. Like it's like my first month actually like really like diving into it. Uh I read the Halbert letters, and right now I'm reading the ad week copybook by Joe Sugarman. So
Right.
I'm like just like really starting out like um but yeah, man, I'm ready to just get really good at this and see if it's like my career path I need to go on, because I feel like I could be good at it.
Right. Well, yeah, man. Like, if you feel like you can't be good at it, then you absolutely can. It's just a matter of, you know, your grit, like how long you want to stick with it until you get to the point where you are good. And that's a journey. There's a process. But yeah, I hope you
True.
stick with it. Like, you'll learn a lot here. Dan, what's going on, man?
My brother, what's going on? How you doing, man? It's been a while.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute, but I'm doing well. Did you read the copy? Did you have any notes on it?
I read the copy before when I first saw it. I haven't looked at it recently. I'll
Yeah,
probably skim it, but I'll be on mute for a bit just because there's a lot of stuff happening here. But yeah, I appreciate you hosting the call and doing this. I think it'll be good for the group just to bring us to the next level.
okay, awesome. Thank you, man. Okay, so I'm gonna figure out how to share my screen, and then I'll show you guys my notes that I have for the copy call for the promo. Jack, you mentioned that you thought it was a long promo, and that's kind of ironic because I chose this ad because it's actually, in my opinion, it's on the shorter side.
Word.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
this.
because I oh go ahead, man.
No, go for it. What do you have to say?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like I was reading it on my iPhone, and like usually like if I look at something like that, it's on my computer, but like for some reason when I was reading it, it just like the eye relief wasn't there for me. Like it just was kind of like going on, but I did like that there were like little big sub headlines that were like in big text. But I just felt like I don't know, it seemed like another one of those like I'm gonna sell you something that's not really anything worthwhile kind of advertisement things. But then again, I'm new to this, so I really don't know if it's anything worthwhile what he was selling, or if he's just kind of showing his skills in writing.
Right. Well, see. Well, did you buy the product? You didn't buy the product, right?
Nah, I didn't buy it.
Okay. I mean, that means something because you are his target demographic, right? Like you're an aspiring advertiser, and he has information about how you can be a better advertiser. And if you didn't buy his product, then his copy failed, right?
True that. Because I was like, yo, man, like is every day I see like those YouTube ads, it looks no different from that. Like what's significant about your product that's gonna make me a good advertiser that's different from all the thousands that I've seen. But I don't know.
Right.
But
Okay. So what does make this ad different?
um, um let me look at it again. I got my iPhone right
Because you
here.
have you have this guy you've never heard of before, whatever his name is. That kind of makes it different, right? Chris Evans,
Yeah.
the founder of Traffic and Funnels. I think it's
Right now, what I see, he put the fact that he's selling you something right there first and foremost, which is kind of more honest, because usually I'm looking at stuff and it'll be like a whole video or something, and it make it seem like it's all free information or something. It's like, and then it's at the end, by the way, it's we have a book and we have this, and we pay us 3 payments of yada yada. But
So why do
I'm
you
seeing
think,
that.
why do you think he was so aggressive? Like he didn't try to hide the offer at all. Like, why do you think he was so aggressive?
It could be he believes in his brand. It could be that he like, you know, he really like everything he's saying, like he's saying he's been to the Facebook headquarters. Like I think he's just like kind of hoping that you like, you know, rely on that and then Google him and be like, okay, like he has been to these places, you know, he's like he's worthy of me paying up front. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what I think.
Right? Like no one knows the right answer because only that guy knows why he did what he did in his copy, right? So I mean, in my opinion, I think it's because it's a Facebook offer, right? And you see that that's really common in Facebook offers. Like it's a short ad, and then you click from the ad, and then immediately on the landing page there's like an opt-in, and like when you click a Facebook ad, you know exactly what you're doing, right? So there's no need to hide it. Like there's no need to
Right.
hide it. It's an advertisement because people know what it is. They know what they clicked on. Facebook makes it abundantly clear that this is an ad, right?
Understood. Yeah, because I gathered that too. Like, you know, it's like a typical kind of like little social media ad. I'm still trying to find something from it that like really stood out. But like I think his colors are nice. Like he used red, so it means like, you know, urgency. I was reading it up until a certain point. Like it did keep me going. Like the rules about like you're supposed to your first sentences should, you know, draw you in, and it should make you read the next sentence and the next sentence. That was working for me. Like that, I got that in the beginning, but then like after a while, just reading it on my phone screen, particularly because I didn't read it on my computer screen, like the eye relief wasn't there for me. But
Right.
that's pretty much what I got from it.
Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So I guess I'll just talk about my notes here. Forgive my handwriting, pretty sloppy. But the first thing that I noticed was the headline, right? Duh, because it's big and red, right? Are you running out of customers? So what is that headline doing? I feel like it's establishing fear right away in your prospects. It's like you're trying to tap into his fear of his business dying because he doesn't have customers, right? You have in the eyebrow copy, you have a sense of false scarcity right here, this part, less than 100 copies remaining. And pay attention to that because we're going to revisit that idea later on in the copy. And then in the subhead right here, after years of struggle, figured out the winning formula, put it in the book, unlimited customers without guesswork, right? So you're just promising a great system. And that's a pretty standard headline formula, right? You have, in the eyebrow, you have a sense of urgency, right? And then your main headline, your main idea, whatever you have, whatever emotion you're trying to tap into, you put that in the main headline. And then you have your promise right there in the subhead, right? That's a standard copywriting formula if you ever want to use that, borrow that real quick. And because this is a Facebook ad, you see that we have a quick call to action right here where you fill out the form, like straight on the order form. Further down, so I feel like the biggest promise that he makes in this copy that kind of makes it interesting is the fact that you can have anything you want in the world, right? So he says, today I want to offer you the keys to the advertising kingdom to show you how to create the requisite income for whatever you want in life, right? Through the power of paid traffic. So you can have whatever you want in life through the power of paid traffic. I feel like that promise is a big promise and it's interesting enough to keep people reading. At least it was interesting enough to keep me reading. But like I'm an ad guy, I read ads all the time. It doesn't really mean anything.
True that.
That I kept reading. Or it doesn't. All right.
Hey, Barry, what's going on? It's David.
What's up, David?
How's it going? I want to know if you like, how do you think the sophistication of the people who he's targeting is. Like, you know what I mean?
Like his target audience, like how sophisticated are they?
Yeah, because he's saying, are you running out of customers after years of struggling? We're going to give you the keys to unlock customers and clients without guesswork. That, for me, that just puts up my alarm bells like crazy. Like me, like being a very highly sophisticated like marketer and who knows that there are definitely not only 100 copies remaining.
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
that stuff.
So what kind of alarms did you think, like this guy is just lying to me, like this is just pure bullshit?
I mean, for me personally, I know I was on the first like webinar that he did like a year ago when he like released this, so I know it's good, but I want to know how people who aren't as sophisticated as me would take this.
Okay, well, I guess that's me, right? Because this is my first year as a copywriter. I didn't buy this book. I read the copy. I thought it was interesting. I thought about buying it, but I was like, nah, I'd rather keep my $7. Like I can figure out whatever is in your book somewhere else.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this guy, his target demographic is like, I feel like maybe a small business owner who's been at it for like maybe 2 or 3 years, like a solo entrepreneur or a freelancer or something like that, or a guy with a small business of a team of less than 20 people who's been at it for like less than 5 years. I think that's his like target demographic.
Yeah, he goes into that whole notion of being an intelligent advertiser. That goes like towards an identity that you want to try to leap from somebody who is like going batshit crazy to somebody who knows what they're doing and has control. So I can see how that kind of feels.
I think
I'm gonna stop talking now.
Oh, that's good. That's a good point. I took note of that too. The fact that he called his product the Intelligent Advertiser. Because you remember that promo? I don't know if you remember or not, but from the Wall Street Journal, where they had the two guys, the tale of two guys, like one went to the same college, got the same degree, went to the same job, right? But then one ended up as the president, the other guy was like a middle manager somewhere. But I feel like calling his product the Intelligent Investor or the Intelligent Advertiser kind of sets up that dichotomy where like you can buy this book and choose to be an intelligent advertiser, or you can not buy it and just be like ignorant and broke all your life and never achieve anything that you want.
Yeah.
Question I want to add on to that is, do you think that's a use of like guilt as like an emotional tool within the advertising by setting it up as like you're an intelligent marketer, but if you're like kind of like implying that if you don't get it, you might not be on that same like stratosphere as us intelligent marketers?
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point, right? You're supposed to feel guilty. You're supposed to feel stupid. You're supposed to feel like you were making the absolute wrong decision if you do not buy this book. That's the whole point of setting up those two identities, right? I feel like this ad doesn't quite capture fully. Like it touches it, but it doesn't dive deep into it. It doesn't make you feel like I'm making a dumb decision by not buying your book, right?
So I have a question. Have you bought anything else from them before? Like, are you a memo subscriber or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Why are you?
Yeah, I bought a bunch of things from them.
Okay. And what do you think of their product? They're like a good service?
Yeah, I do believe. I mean, I don't have their like big $10,000 program, but I've bought a couple smaller programs, and they're trying to like bring you up to be able to afford and think like a different type of business owner, so that you can choose to buy their big stuff later on. So they're doing like the whole J. Abraham notion of just get as many customers as humanly possible, and like we're just gonna keep hitting you with value bombs until you trust us enough to buy our stuff later on.
Mm. And what are those value bombs? Is that like free content or what?
Basically things like this, like they do like they how do you say, they break apart like pieces of their other products and sell them for $50, $100, you know? So they don't necessarily give free information, but it's so cheap and it's so high value, it might as well be free.
Yeah.
But they still want that credit card first.
Yeah. So it's like they have like a course and like they might just sell you like one chapter of the course or something like that.
More or less.
Okay. All right, that works. All right, did you have anything about the copy?
Not at the moment, I'm still like looking at it.
Okay. All right, so I guess I'll just keep going here. His credibility phase was kind of lackluster to me. He has like the Agora cred, and that's cool. Um, he has this thing, the Facebook meeting in Austin, Texas. I thought that was exclusive, like that sets up him as an exclusive person. He has access to these exclusive events, so he must be somebody important. And then I thought the last one was kind of weird. Like he was just kind of bragging about how much money he spends on mentorship, like how much money he invests in himself. I'm like, how does that make you more credible than the next guy? Like the fact that you have more money to spend on investing in yourself. But I mean, like, I don't know. What do you think? Does that mean anything to you or no?
Uh, Me personally, yeah, I don't know, because I thought about that. I thought about like just like in general, like he's kind of like just showing like his credibility from like places he's been and like people he rubs elbows with, and like I thought that was like interesting, but I didn't know like if that's a good marker if like the whole thing he's selling is legitimate or not, because you could be like pretty prominent but still be like somewhat of a scammer.
Right.
But I'm still new, so I really have like no kind of concrete like understanding of like a lot of this yet. But yeah, there's things that ran to my mind though.
I know Dan has a lot to say. He's over here quiet listening. No, but in terms of like the subheads and all these things, like in my experience, when you're writing copy, you want to hit every type of objection. So
Yeah.
like me personally, if I'm gonna sit here, I'm the type of person that I wish I had more money so I can spend on more mentors, Yeah. So maybe some parts of that are like, okay, this guy spent so much on his education, and that's why he's able to do this. And that's why he's able to think on a higher level, because he spent so much on his education. Not necessarily, I don't care about the trips to DR, but if I can have access like he does, then maybe there's something there. That's kind of like that whole, is there a secret to your success thing? And apparently he's saying that there is, and he has the key. And if you don't have the money to access them, then I'll give you my information for $20.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I see the logic there. I see like how that makes sense in the grand scheme. Because like if I had like a company like that, and I'm showing you like, hey, like this is what I'm selling. I'm selling you like my mind, my tricks of the trade. Like I guess I would want to let you know I'm highly educated, or at least I spend money on that to get there anyway. So let me give you value. So yeah, that makes sense.
All right, let's see. All right, so he's talking about how much. I think the most credible thing though is this headline right here, this subhead. Not only that, but he spent over 3.5, I guess, million in ad spend, right? Because that's what makes you, in my opinion, an intelligent advertiser. The fact that you spent that amount of money successfully as an advertiser. Let's see. I thought he was pretty cool. Well, The way he did that legal disclaimer right here is pretty cool. Now, by no means am I claiming that you'll experience similar growth, but what I am saying is, without advertising concepts and principles I'm about to give you, you will not even have a fraction of the success. I thought it was pretty cool what he did right here also. What you're not going to learn inside the book, because that disqualifies readers. And it also brings up a few of the objections that you can overcome later on in the sales letter, right? So, like, he's straight up calling out his audience here, pretty much. Like, if you're here to learn how to set up a Facebook pixel, no, this isn't for you. You're not gonna have the objection of like those black hat marketing tricks that you sometimes come across. Like he's saying, you're not gonna find any of that here, so that's an objection he's overcoming. Right? And then further down in the copy, he sets up the problem. And the problem that he sets up is that you don't think like an advertiser, right? So it's right here in this line. What I want to do today is completely shift the way you think about and approach your advertising forever, giving you the tools of the top 1% of advertisers and to stay in the game with long-term consistency and predictability. Right, so that's a problem, right? I don't think the right way about advertising. And then he kind of deepens the problem, but not really, not strong enough. Right, while the rest of the package is throwing away money, I feel like that kind of deepens the problem, but not really. It doesn't come. Then he offers new hope, right? Right. The thing is, most people get are a lot closer than they think, right? That means like the fact that I am an advertiser and I'm advertising, I'm really close to getting it right. I just need to change this one little thing. Right? Just a couple of key distinctions and I can flip myself into a winner. And of course, those key distinctions are in his book, The Intelligent Advertiser. These bullet points are kind of cool. They just, paint the picture of, because remember his promise earlier was you can have anything you want in your life, right? Anything you want in the world you can have by being an effective advertiser. So this is the section where he paints that picture for you, right? Of what it means, have anything you want because you are a successful advertiser. I feel like the way he writes, not these ads, but not these bullet points, his bullet points further down, was pretty interesting, the way he writes them. Because each one is like a curiosity plus a benefit, and that makes it a fascination. So I feel like if you listen to David Deutsch talk, he doesn't call bullet points, he calls them fascinations. And that's because like when he writes them, he has a curiosity element at the very beginning. So all these bold points right here are the curiosity element. And then, everything that's just regular text is like the underlying benefit of that curiosity. And then he tells you exactly where to find it in the book to kind of deepen that curiosity.
So it's like an outline of his book before you get it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's nice. That's actually like smart. You get to like see like, I guess like look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those fascinations are crazy because just one line will make you like just trip over glass and try to buy the book.
Really? You said there was one line that made you want to trip over glass to buy the book?
No, I'm just saying in general, like fascinations. Like I remember there was this one line in the shortcut copywriting secrets from Scott Haynes sales letter that made me just go crazy. But yeah, a single bullet is so you want to. I think John Carlton said just write as all the bullets you possibly can, try to get them in there because just one of them can make the buyer pull the trigger.
Yeah. Let's see. And then his close right here at the bottom, why am I giving this book away for free? He just like answers these objections. And he numbers them 1, 2, and 3. This third objection that he overcomes, I thought was pretty cool because he's just being straight up honest with you, straight up transparent. He's like, he asked the question, why am I doing this? And his third answer to the question is because I want to sell you more shit in the future. Right? So like, I need you to get this book so I can sell you more shit in the future. And I thought that's pretty cool. And so remember in the eyebrow of the headline, he said that he only has a few copies left of his book, right? Less than 100 copies remaining, right? And then we get down here to the bottom of the sales letter. And then he literally says, I'm not going to feed you some false scarcity about how we're running out of copies.
Oh my days, that's terrible.
Like, what is that?
But buddy, you just said there's 100 copies left. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure he's not writing it himself. He should have like gone over it like as a pass through, but I don't think he wrote this copy.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess
I thought that, but I thought maybe it's like a joke, like tongue in cheek, kind of like the way he wrote it. I don't know.
Maybe, but can you count on your audience to know that?
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel like it made me ask an interesting question though. Like, does false scarcity work in the digital age, right? When most of the products that you're buying online are like a free download, does false scarcity work?
I mean, the thing is, like, you don't know it's false scarcity unless you've been around for a little while. So, like, and unless you know the type of person, like, for example, Ben Settle the other day had a sale saying, this is my new book. You got until Friday at midnight to buy it or else it's going up. I mean, unless you know him, you wouldn't know if he's actually going to bump up the price. But a lot of people do know him and say, listen, I'm going to buy this book now. And there are just a few key players that actually do that. But if you don't know folks in the realm, then you won't know who's who and who will actually stick by their word. Like Todd Brown's like the man, but like he does the same sales over and over again, and he has evergreen funnels saying that you can't get this anywhere else. But if I sign up with a new email, I'm gonna get the exact same funnel with the same scarcity. So like, who are you kidding?
Okay, so scarcity works when it's true, and to your average reader, like they can't tell the difference between true and false scarcity. So I guess false scarcity does work if you can't tell the difference between real and false scarcity. Thank you, David. Let's see. All right, so that's really it. He just does like a standard close. Yeah, and this time anyway, we're at 30 minutes. So did you guys have any like closing thoughts or no?
Not really. Next time I have to be a little more prepared.
Same here, but also I do want to say I think overall he did a decent job, but like just it didn't come across as compelling as like it could have been, in my opinion, just as I guess from a consumer mindset, because I'm still new to writing it, but also like the fact that he he said that there was scarcity, said it was 100 copies, and then he backtracked on it. Like, to me, if I was reading that with like even like a serious intention to buy it, I would like be kind of confused by it, and I would just like not trust him as much. So I feel like if you're gonna use tactics, like try to be a little more smooth with it, be a little more I guess thoughtful and like reread what you wrote. But other than that, he did decent for the most part. But
yeah, because that inconsistency is like, it's kind of hard to trust somebody who will say something completely different.
Right.
It's crazy. Like their operation is so big now, or they're getting so big, but like the content is like really good. For them to use these tactics is just crazy.
Okay, so the content you think is worth the investment?
I do.
All right. Well, bro, you should write the advertisement, man. Like,
I got a bunch of people for that, man.
All right, man. So how can we make this call like more beneficial for you guys in the future?
I say maybe throw in some ways to act, instead of just like completely critiquing it, see how we can actually make it better.
Okay.
Like maybe reshuffling some things. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
You know that whole Gary Benzavenga. Try to make it better somehow.
So what are you trying to do to make this ad better? Yeah, I would go with the tale of two students route, right? Like you can either be an intelligent investor or not. And like set up that picture of what an intelligent advertiser's life looks like. And then like say like, if you don't want this picture, you're fucking dumb.
What came to my mind just now, I think like maybe testimonials, but like something that's like very clear and not gimmicky looking, like something that just kind of like shows to the effect of like how many people have actually like truly bought his product and like truly like improved their copy in some way. And I know it's hard to convey, but like I don't know, like just a way that just lets me, because I don't know, like most products I buy, like even if it's like Amazon, I read the reviews. Like I want to see some kind of testimonial to back it up. Like, and it's cool that he had, you know, his accolades and the fact that like he is established in some capacity, but like and like they mentioned like the ad spend was good too. And just reread something real quick. But yeah, he did a couple good things like that like kept me reading it. But I just feel like maybe testimonials or some sort of like extra layer of like verifying, like, hey, people actually use this thing.
Yeah,
that's what I was.
I mean, you gotta also think about like these guys are spending thousands and thousands a day on advertising, so they have like a compliance team that pretty much vets it. So I would want to ask like, why didn't they put testimonials and such in it? Is it because of compliance reasons? Have they gotten their ads shut down? Or like,
right.
You know, I don't know.
Are they doing like Black Cat stuff and like they got banned or anything stupid like that? Like
yeah, I don't know.
Reflective copy. All right, man. But yeah, so testimonials would add a lot to it because like David just giving a testimonial just now, like made me want to buy the product. Yeah, testimonials would be a strong addition to this copy. All right, anything else or no?
I don't know. Like, I wonder the subhead, after years of struggle, I finally discovered the keys to consistently winning in advertising. I would maybe put a specific number of dollars lost. Like after this much lost, I finally discovered the key, or some kind of like specific number, so it sounds real. After years of struggle, I found that also goes back to the sophistication of who he's going after. So I would just, no matter what, I would always try to put more specific credibility statements in the headline complex.
Oh, can I tag onto that? An idea I just thought of is like maybe if you even put like a statistic saying typically how much money people lose if they don't use some of his tactics or tactics that he's kind of learned. So if like a number saying typically copywriters or whoever lose this amount of money, have they not done it the right way? So that would kind of get me to like kind of inquire about it more.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you for participating. I'm gonna go ahead and end the call now. We'll do the same thing next week. I'll send David, I saw your comment on the post. I'll figure out how to log back into my MailChimp because it had the two-step authentication now. So,
Yeah.
so I'll set up an email list. I'll get you guys on the email list if you want. I'll post that link in the group as soon as it's ready, and I'll also post the link to the next call and
Yeah.
a link to the next promo, man, and we'll get at it next Thursday. Thanks for coming in and participating.
All right. Thanks for doing the whole thing.
Thank you, man.
You guys
See you soon, man.
Oh, Dan.
You know what it is? I'm picking up my daughter from nursery.
Okay.
So I've got Zoom on my mobile. I'm muting. I'm unmuting. Hopefully next week I'll make different arrangements so I can be a bit more present. But yeah, I love the idea. I love that we're going to be digging into copy and also, more importantly, working out how we would improve it. Because there's one thing analyzing it, but I think that the next step is working out how we would improve it and thinking critically around that. So that's what I'm most looking forward to going forward.
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll see you next week.
See you guys next week.
See ya.
Thank you guys. I'm learning a lot.